Whoa, we're here. I haven't had this good of a reception to a live stream in a long time. Oh, when was the last time I had. I haven't. First of all, I haven't done like a proper live stream since, I don't know, the past few months. Other than just gaming and stuff. Since Gemology started, I haven't done like an actual live stream, so it's pretty new. Hello, everybody. Aquapines, you're the one name that I find familiar. What's my favorite kind of bread? Hard one. That's a difficult one. Okay. I gotta think about that. First, I'm gonna show you this thing. I'm gonna have the episode when we start to do the discussion part of the stream. The episode will come up here. I can actually make it bigger a little bit, make it smaller. But I'm gonna do my best to try to not get the stream taken down because the gemology videos, each one of those gets claimed, and I have to do the dispute process. I don't want this stream to have the same thing, so episode itself will be in a little window, and I can zoom in and stuff if I need to. Okay, favorite kind of bread. Let's do let's do questions in order as they appear. Hot take, pumpernickel. I like pumpernickel, especially on a Reuben. Delicious. All right, do I like waffles? Yes, not as much as other breakfast pastries like pancakes. Who is my favorite diamond? That's a question that I will answer later in the series because it's been long enough that I don't have a solid opinion until I go rewatch a lot of the episodes involving diamonds. Have I calculated how long it will take me to get through the whole series? Not yet. I'm going to be probably around the end of season 1, or like at the end of every couple seasons. I'm probably going to take a little vacation, take a break, and then come back for after like a week or two. So it'll be... Actually, let's do that right now. I'm going to do... So how many episodes total? I'm going to pull the list up. There are... I know it'll be the end of this year when I get season 1 done, assuming I don't get like sick or can't finish an episode or something. Season 1 will be done by the end of probably like Christmas this year, because I'll be going once a week. I started this series on Christmas Day of last year, so let me think. Will the movie be included? Yes. That is hella dedication. I got that ADHD hyper focus going on for this series. I don't know. I started it, and it's all of a sudden it's working. Why does it get claimed? Because I use copyrighted footage. That's how it goes. I deal with the claims head on. I don't do anything to try to not get claimed. I realize that's a waste of time. Other than for the stream, right? I don't have any audio. I will not be playing episode audio during the stream because that is like a guaranteed way to get it claimed and taken down. Which do I like more, season 2 or season 3? Definitely season 2. 100% season 2. Well, let's look at the list. I'm going to pull the list up. We're going to scroll through the list a little bit. Season 1 has a lot of my favorite episodes, actually. Mirror Gem and Ocean Gem are some of the highlights, the ones that I love the most. I don't know, season 2, now that I think about it, there's some really not great ones in here. Let me think. Yeah, I think season 2 is better, genuinely. We'll get to all these. I think season 4 is the lowest point in the series. Again, I'm going to be going over that really in depth as I get to those episodes. Someone keeps asking favorite kind of cheese. This is a Steven Universe discussion. So yes, I will talk about cheese. I like Swiss a lot. I get sick of it because of how much I eat. Maybe just something classic like Parmesan. That's not a typical answer, but everyone likes Parmesan. All the bad episodes are at the beginning of season 1. Hard disagree. Let's see. Beginning of season 1, Laser Light Cannon is one of my top favorites ever, aside from the weird janky animation. And yeah, that's the one exception I think to what you claimed. And then it gets good at Giant Woman, like the show genuinely starts taking off. All right, what do we want to talk about in terms of? I guess I want to play a game too. First of all, let's just make this big until I decide to play a game. I'm not going to be playing the episode. I'll just go to the parts. I talked about in the actual Gemology video. Everyone started pointing this one out. I'm just objectively wrong when I said that Lion doesn't walk on water for the rest of the series. I don't know where I was. I don't know what I was drinking when I said that. I think it was just the fact that there was I couldn't think of any because apparently it doesn't happen until season 5. So between this episode and season 5, like a lot happens and there's a lot that I forgot about. I didn't find anything on the wiki and stuff. I didn't want to just go watch every episode to see if Lion walks on water. So, yeah, not even a bad take. That's just me being objectively wrong about this fact. Will Steven Universe Future be included in Gemology? Yes, and everyone's going to hate me for it because Steven Universe Future is something I really do not enjoy. It is not the same show as Steven Universe. That's the best way I can put it. It's not the same show. I realize that, so I don't get a lot of the things that the original show's trying to convey. Because the original show is like an adventure, and it's about characters, and everything's fun, and it felt like only occasionally things were fun in Steven Universe Future. I'll get to that. I will get to all of that. I don't want to get into it too much right now. It's kind of the point. Yeah, but it doesn't matter if I didn't find it as fun as the original show. Like I don't want to watch characters be depressed on screen. What about Lion? What are we talking about Lion? This is, I don't know why wait, how often do I upload? I do it once a week every Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon. How do I feel about the ending of Future? I'll say it because I don't want you to have to wait like 5 years for me to get to that. I think the ending was bittersweet. I don't think they could have done a better one. I think Change Your Mind was already a good enough ending to the show. The movie was a nice touch, and then we got Future and then another ending, which is kind of, it felt underwhelming after Change Your Mind at all. Lion is pink diamond? Yes. Well, let's talk about all the weird diamond theories. Remember when people thought Onion was like yellow diamond? I don't know how many of you have watched Steven Universe since it came out, because I will say this, I'll probably say this whenever I decide to do a video on the pilot. I watched the pilot of Steven Universe when it aired, like as it was airing back in 2013 or whatever, when Yeah, they did this day. I remember seeing it because I watched a lot of cartoons when I was a teenager. That they were doing this block on Cartoon Network where they would show off a bunch of different like pilots for shows that were going to be potentially turned into a real show. And one of them was Steven Universe. One of them was Lakewood Plaza Turbo. I remember Steven Universe sticking with me the most. Onion is White Diamond's son. That wouldn't be possible because White Diamond would have had to give up her gem to have a son. The only diamond theory that turned out to be true was the whole Rose being Pink Diamond. Yeah, that's weird that there were so many strange theories that just never ended up true. There was a point because again, I kept up with the series since the very beginning. Um, there was a point I was in a Skype group. This is how old I am. I was in a Skype group and we would have like a discussion about Steven Universe episodes as they were coming out. And I think that it was a point, I can't remember which episode it was, but I was like, it was before Jasper ended up getting poofed and captured. And I had this theory at one point when Jasper appeared in an episode. I was like, she's desperate for fusion. She's going to fuse with a corrupted gem and then become corrupted herself. Or like she's going to somehow become corrupted through either just like going insane. And that's like one of the things that can cause a gem to be corrupted. But I also said it's possible that she would fuse and do that. And I was right. I was right about something. And I've never gotten theories right before or since. And Mario Maker 3 is not a launch title for the Switch 2, meaning that was a theory that I had, and I said if that wasn't the case, that I'd have to play the worst game in my Steam library and live stream it, which is probably going to be Overwatch 2. Anyway, that's a tangent. That's me making theories constantly and then not getting it right, so I put my money where my mouth is, and now at some point I have to stream Overwatch 2, and it's going to be a nightmare. What is my favorite fusion other than Garnet? That's a tough one. I want to say Opal because she's cool looking, but she only gets lines in one episode and the movie. So I don't know. Probably Sardonyx if I can't do that. If Opal got more characterization, I would have I would say her. Let's see. I'm gonna keep looking at questions because I like this. Is there anything you would change about the series if you could? I had this plan before I started Gemology. I'm gonna go on a tangent, so hold your questions, hold them all. Before I started Gemology, I had this idea for a project that I wanted to rewrite the whole series. I wanted to like make several videos where I took a crack at rewriting the lore and rewriting certain arcs in the show, and then maybe even screenwriting some episodes. So yes, there's a lot I would change, and I think the biggest one would be the whole Rose Quartz's Pink Diamond thing, because I think it would be way more interesting if they were two separate people. It could be way more interesting. It's obviously interesting enough in the show as it is. It's great. But I think it could have been way crazier if they were two separate characters. You don't like sardonyx? Wow. I like her music. I'm conflicted. I said a while back in a comment that I really liked Sugalite's music the best out of all the fusion themes. And then I went and listened to Sardonyx's theme, and like, man, that's a hard pick between those two. Oh yeah, back to questions. What is my favorite song? Let me look at the song list because there's so many that I can't think of it. It's either It's Over, Isn't It? Or maybe Paradox. No, Paradox is too short. We're going to look at I like Other Friends from the movie, of course. That one's really good. That one's good because it's long. I like it. Do It For Her is one of my favorites from Sworn to the Sword. And It's Over, Isn't It? I think it might be between those two. Listen to Smoky Quartz theme, Rainbow 2.0 theme, and Mega Pearls theme. I'm going to actually listen to a couple of these. At risk of getting the stream claimed, we're going to listen to a couple of these on stream because... Okay, I want to play Sardonyx's first because that one is really good. Let's hear it. Okay, I'm gonna pause it there at risk so I don't get it. If you want to go listen to it, of course it's on YouTube. That's where I got it. I like the bass in that one. I've never like listened to it really close, so I always only heard the piano. And then when I listened to it on its own without like all the dialogue, I love the bass. The bass, Garnet's bass in that frickin' song is so good. Okay, what else? You wanted to hear Smoky Quartz. I do like Smoky Quartz. It's not as memorable as those. Let me think. What episode am I most looking forward to? In immediate future episode, it's definitely between Mirror Gem and Ocean Gem because I love those episodes in season 1. Those are my favorite episodes in season 1 and a couple of my favorite episodes in the whole show. Okay, well oh no, I accidentally clicked a link to leechess.org. We're not going to play chess. No, don't play it again. Okay, we're looking up Smoky Quartz theme. Smoky Quartz. Let's listen to it real quick. Amethyst drums. And Steven's chiptune. Okay, I do like the chiptune. This one doesn't feel as full as the other ones. It's perfect for that scene. I wouldn't listen to it on its own, like on a playlist driving or whatever. I will comment on the discrepancies in the animation, like the volatile height. That's a weird way to phrase that. I'm gonna guess English isn't your first language, but yes, I am gonna talk about the weird height things. That like sometimes Steven is taller than Amethyst and sometimes they're not. The Cartoon Network theme. Oh, Cartoon Fridays. Let's listen to that one. How many of you were alive and watched Cartoon Network back when they played this? Oh, that brings it back. I love it. Favorite character? Peridot. No question. I really hate how she got sidelined later in the show, but I love Peridot. Where does Amethyst rank? Probably immediately below Peridot. I fucking love Amethyst. She is, of the main crystal gems, I think it goes Peridot, Amethyst, Garnet, like after season 1 Garnet, because it takes a long time for her to open up to become like a proper character. How do I feel about Lapidot? I don't ship characters. I've just never done that. I think Lapidot ended up being a bad thing because those characters both got sidelined as soon as they became barnmates. Yeah, I would give Peridot a hug. I think she would be a good hug. What episode am I looking forward the most to? Again, I need to look at the list because there's so many good ones. Again, in immediate future, it is what you call it. I forget already. Mirror Gem and Ocean Gem. I think Mirror Gem immediately. Alone Together is just going to be a fun one because I get to talk about Fusion and Stevani. I'm looking forward. Okay, hot take. I'm looking forward to the Ronaldo episodes because people are going to hate me because I like it. Not Bloodstone or whatever that one was called. Rocknaldo, that one sucks. But things like Keep Each City Weird and fucking Rising Tides, Crashing Skies. I think those episodes are goofy and they're fun and I love them. I think Bloodstone is like the only reason people hate Ronaldo all around. Not the only reason, but the main reason. Because that episode is just like universally bad. Like everyone agrees that is just a genuinely bad episode. I want to look at. I didn't stop to look at the armor sets in this scene. Hold on. Do we get a good close look at any of these? Is there like references that I'm not getting in terms of armor? Like, cause from like a video game or something that I haven't played. This one looks like Solaire from Dark Souls 1, maybe. If he was a little bit greener. Let's zoom in. That looks like the one from when Connie's in Rose's room. Very similar. Maybe that's like because Steven imagined that one in Rose's room. Maybe this is the armor set that he based it on. Series has been such a treat in my weekly routine. I insta-click every Wednesday on my way home from work. I'm really glad that people love this series, that I can be a part of their like weekly routines and all that. It's someone, I think the highest praise I could get that I ended up getting was someone told me, I think it was on Discord, someone said this directly, that it was like getting up in the morning as a kid on Saturday for the new episode of Pokemon every week. It's like the thing to look forward to. I'm like, that is literally the highest praise you can give me, and I really love that. You love White Diamond as a villain, but you think she probably shouldn't have been the final boss. That's going to get into the whole Cartoon Network rushing them to finish the series because of the wedding. That I'll get into that. And the whole, like, there's this theme throughout the whole show is that nobody is pure good or pure evil. That's why they didn't have any like proper evil villains and shit. So even White Diamond wasn't like a space Hitler like we thought she was going to be or whatever. And even the good characters like Pearl and Rose Quartz and Garnet and all them don't always do good things, and it's a good moral, it's a good theme for the show, but it doesn't make for great entertainment. I feel like when a show or whenever media does like a moral or a theme, it doesn't matter how realistic it is if it's not entertaining. Like, I think this show could have done really well with just like a bad guy or like a giant monster to fight, you know? If there was a monster that just was a monster and there was there's no moral gray area in killing it. Jasper wasn't low-key thrown to the side. She was literally thrown to the side for a long time. Yeah, I think there's, again, if I ever got the chance to rewrite the show, like whenever Gemology is finished and I decide to move on to other stuff, I'm going to do my project that I wanted to do, which is rewriting the show. I want to give more time to build up White Diamond and also to write some stuff that goes against the Stevens point of view rule, because that rule made the show worse overall, in my honest, genuine opinion. How do I feel about Pink Diamond's choices in the show? And would you have done anything differently if you were in her position? I don't think so. I mean, the idea was that she tried to reason with the diamonds to try to like disband her colony, even though they were like, oh, you begged for it constantly. You always wanted this colony, and now you got it, and now you made your bed, now lie in it, kind of thing. But it's like, yeah, if you can't back out of the situation, then you gotta fucking rebel, you know? Will Obsidian fight White Diamond in my rewrite? Yeah, probably. I think that would be fun. Though I think Obsidian is like way bigger than her. So I think it wouldn't even be a matter of a fight. I would give White Diamond this like commanding power or something that she can just like snap her fingers and suddenly someone's compelled to, like, you know, the Lich from Adventure Time, when he does this thing where like everything goes dark and he just says something like fall, and then Finn like falls to his knees. I want White Diamond to have something like that, because that's a fucking cool power. love how the fact that we're shown Pink Diamond's character development in reverse. I think that's a really cool uh writing idea that they pulled off really well, but I think it did damage in the fandom because now everyone thinks, "Oh, Rose Quartz is a bitch. She sucks. Pink Diamond sucks." But really you have like recency bias because you've only heard, by the end of the series you're only being taught about all the negative shit that she did like early in her career, so to speak. But in reality, I think she was a good person by the end of her life. Am I going to discuss the LGBT allegories and metaphors during the series? I think I am the wrong person to talk about that. As a as a straight white man, I am the absolute wrong person to talk about it. I would be getting so many things wrong. I will leave that for someone better, someone who more fits that demographic. Not that I don't like that kind of thing in media. It just, again, I'm not an expert. I'm just the wrong person. People get too hung up on the thought that we're supposed to take Steven's feelings on Rose as gospel when that's never really been how the show operated. Yeah, and yeah, because as he gets older, as he gets more mature, he gets disillusioned to the fact that, like, oh, his mom was this, like, saint, this perfect fucking being, which is just true for everybody as kids. It's like, yeah, you're gonna grow up and realize that your parents do shitty things. Doesn't mean they're bad people necessarily. From Rose's perspective, the war was over, the diamonds were never returning, Pink Diamond's secret would never need to be known, and the corrupted gems were unfixable. She only left Steven with, yeah. That's a really good point, and I entirely agree with that. Because, like, Rose Quartz could not have known that, first of all, that Steven would find, because, the series of events gets set off by Steven finding Lapis in the mirror and pulling her out. First of all, never would have known that Steven would have pulled, that Lapis would still be able to reform, that Steven could pull her out, that Steven would do such a thing, that he would heal her, that she would fly back to Homeworld and alert everyone that, like, hey, Earth still exists, it hasn't been destroyed by the cluster yet, and then start sending gems there to check on said cluster. That's why I'm excited to get to Mirror Gem and Ocean Gem, because those set of episodes are, like, what do you call it? That, like, set off the whole story, that set into motion everything that happens in the show. The absolute reason that anything comes to Earth, any of the gems come to Earth, Peridot comes to check on the cluster and stuff like that, is because fucking Steven pulled Lapis out and she flew back to Homeworld and said, hey, Earth, I'm back from Earth, guys. Just now realizing that Steven in the mirror is what did all of that. I know, it's awesome. That's like that moment that Steven pulled that thing out of the mirror. You kind of realize that, like, oh shit, this was all planned out from this moment. Like, that exact moment is when the whole story was planned. Again, rushed by the end, but yeah, it was a lot of, like, most of the overarching story was planned out. other than the filler. There was certain spots that they had to, fill the episodes that Cartoon Network ordered. So, yeah. When the Diamonds eventually send Gems to check on the cluster? Maybe. Probably. They'd probably just be like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. The Diamonds don't seem all that organized. Yeah. You're telling me that all that BS that Steven dealt with was because of a single act of compassion. Yes. Exactly. My brother refuses to watch Steven Universe because, quote unquote, it's gay. That's like half the humor, though. That's like half the reason Hit the Diamond. That's an episode that I'm looking forward to because that's a filler episode that's one of my favorite episodes. Is Hit the Diamond. Entirely filler, but I love it. It's so good. I am still shocked. I'm going to go on another filler rant because I feel like I'm going to also change the screen because I'm going to do Lion in the fucking Avatar state. After all the things I said in Onion Trade specifically, that filler exists in the show. It's not a question of definition. It's not like, oh, it's not following a freaking manga, so it can't be filler because it's not what do you call it? It's not an anime because it's not trying to pad for time, but it is padding for time because they had ordered a certain amount of episodes. That there are people in this world who think that this show doesn't have filler episodes. It's shocking to me. Yep. Wasn't it in Marble Madness that Peridot reveals that the eye thing was all her? Feels like a retcon to me. I don't think early episodes were super planned out. I agree with that. There's a lot of times that this show was retconned for the sake of making previous episodes make more sense because it's like, oh, what did the red eye have to do? They didn't know what that Peridot and all that would show up when what do you call it? When they did the episode with the red eye, they'd be like, oh, that's just like a weird thing that they're going to fight because back when the pilot happened that the gems were from like another dimension. That's how much that it wasn't planned out. Even right when the show got greenlit, I don't think the whole story was there. I think the thing with the diamonds was there. I don't think the cluster was there. I don't think Peridot was there. Yeah, the OG pilot. I've heard this before. I can't find anyone who says it now. But there were certain people at a certain time that would go around saying that, oh, they had everything planned out in Steven Universe. Every little detail. It's like, it's just not true for any media. As soon as you start writing something, you're going to realize that like, oh, this is cool, or oh, this doesn't make sense, and you're going to rewrite it. That's just how creating media works. Ever watched Invincible? No, that's something that I wanted to watch. But the short time that I still think I have Amazon Prime. I should watch it, but I was watching The Boys. I haven't sat down to watch a show in quite a long time. I've been playing a lot of games instead. And that being said, I was intending for this stream to be half gaming stream, but I think it was more fun to just read chat. I didn't realize how many people were going to join. That's the thing, is that there's so much to talk about because there's just so many people in chat. I wouldn't be able to play a game. I wouldn't be able to focus. Where am I in The Boys? I'm like right at the beginning of season 2. I was sick for like 2 days, and I just fucking turned that show on and watched the entirety of season 1 and the beginning of season 2. Steven's ring had a gold ring. Steven's gem had a gold ring around it that Rose was planned to be pink diamond from the start. That makes sense, though, I think. The ring color symbolized the rarity of the gem. Okay. I also don't like, on the topic of retcons, I'm going to go back like a couple pages. There's a lot of people who try to, actually this is just like kind of not globally throughout the fandom, but there's a lot of people who see writers of Steven Universe saying things on like Twitter or Tumblr and then calling that canon, which is, I think, entirely inaccurate, because if it doesn't appear in the show, then it's not canon, right? Like, that's what canon is. If it's in the show, that's part of the canon. What was I gonna say? A lot of it doesn't bother me, like the Paradise is asexual or whatever. She doesn't want to fuse because she is asexual, but that was only confirmed on social media. That doesn't bother me, but there are certain times where it's kind of lazy to not include something like that in the show. Writer statements are tier 2 canon. Yeah, but that's getting into some weird territory of having to keep track of shit that's not part of the show. I'm trying to think of an example that like actually, I think I mentioned it in Together Breakfast when they said this scroll is pigments made of mashed up powderized gems, and it's I think that was a retcon. I think it was just the fact that it wasn't planned for all of the monsters and all of the gem artifacts to originally have been gems. I just don't think they had the foresight to do that. So then a writer later down the line had to say, oh, it was like gems that were crushed up and turned into paint. Which is fine. Like, it works, but it feels lazy that not lazy, but it feels disingenuous saying like, oh, we didn't have that planned out. So it was just cool at the time. Which it is. It's cool. Like, that scroll thing in Together Breakfast is cool, and I don't know. What the hell is... Wait, what? What the hell is Connie doing with her face? What is Steven doing with his face? What's wrong with their faces? What are they looking at? They're dizzy is what happened. Let me play the clip back. They just got out of the warp. They're dizzy. They're like out of breath. Oh, yeah, they're dizzy. Look at them. We have Homeworld and their weird comb and wall gems. Yeah. I'm going to do a Gemology review of the OG pilot. I'm going to do that at some point before I get to Steven and the Stevens. So then the time thing makes sense in that episode. I can do all the, what do you call it? I can do the references like, oh, they did this in the pilot, but then they did this in this episode. Never got the usefulness of the wall gems. Yeah, you just make a wall. You just move it. You do not like the pilot? Or Steven and the Stevens? Yeah, I think Steven and the Stevens is... First of all, it breaks the magic system with a fucking time travel device. Connie and Steven became a thing out of nowhere? I disagree entirely. They're holding hands in this episode. Where are they holding hands? They're like a little cute child couple, you know? She kissed him in the movie? Yeah, I don't know. Steven and Connie's relationship is probably one of the most best developed things in the whole show. Yeah, what? I don't know. You can be best friends with your significant other. That's not an uncommon thing to say. What the hell does straight core mean? I don't know. They're just straight people. I don't know. I don't know internet. I'm not on the internet enough to know these things. Any significance to the word pointy? Is this a reference to something? Someone asked me way at the beginning of this stream. I just remembered it now for some reason. Have I seen the Owl House? And no, I mean I've seen some of it and I don't remember any of it except for the fact that there's like a worm demon creature in the door. Also, a lot of people pointed out. I try not to do this. A lot of people pointed out this is Ronaldo's like girlfriend from what do you call it? From goddamn Restaurant Wars. Why couldn't I think of the name of that episode? But I don't really want to like that. Clearly wasn't planned out when this episode came out. I'd rather talk about callbacks than foreshadowing because anything in this show could be foreshadowing. The fucking, like I said that in the goddamn diamond, the diamonds in the background of every fucking scene ever. Let's find some diamonds. Actually, there's not many in this episode. Oh, there's like none in this episode. If we go all the way back to the fucking, yeah. There's always this diamond imagery in the background, and then I'm sure some of people were like, foreshadowing, and there's all foreshadowing in the background. It's all diamonds. It's all diamonds. There's a white diamond. There's a blue diamond. That's foreshadowing to change your mind. It's like, no, it's not. They didn't have that planned out before that. I know it could be foreshadowing, of course, that there will be diamonds. I don't think that it's foreshadowing that anything specific. Don't let Danny Mata know you said called Hootie a demon worm thing. Those are yeah, they're fucking rhombuses. Those aren't diamonds. Some of them are rectangles. I don't see any rectangles. Wait, there are no rectangles. You're wrong. This one maybe. No, this one's a rhombus. They're all rhombuses, except yeah, they're all rhombuses. Except this one. This one's a fucking pentagram. I was gonna say pentagram, a pentagon, because it has a flat side on top. That's not a rectangle. Even if this was filled in, it wouldn't even be a rhombus because look at the sides. We're talking about geometry. I'm gonna rename the series to Geometry instead of Gemology. Next April Fools or whatever, the thumbnail is just gonna say Geometry. And it'll just be a geometry video. I'll be talking about fucking math. That's a math joke, right? I did this rant in the video, and then someone said like, oh, you already said don't look into it too much in fucking Giant Woman. And yeah, it was just fun to look. It is occasionally fun to just overthink these things. Like I've thought of this. The reason I did this rant is because I always considered this when this episode first came out. It's like, whoa, they didn't use this penny design until 2010. So like Rose Quartz would have had to have had this design before Steven was born. Yeah. That's the only reason I did that. And yeah, I don't know. Uncle Grandpa episode 1 for April Fools. I have this idea. I'm not going to say anything for what I'm going to do for the Say Uncle episode because it's going to be great. I will say this in total seriousness, going back and watching Say Uncle, I like that episode. I think it's funny. I think that's the main reason to like that episode is because it's funny. Anyone who hates that episode, anyone who genuinely despises it, hates fun. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun episode. Uncle Grandpa doesn't have to be. I know it does. It's not gonna appeal to everyone's sense of humor because it's like LOL random humor. Uncle Grandpa is originally from fucking Secret Mountain Fort Awesome. Uncle Grandpa is a spin-off of an older show. Did you know that? The one thing that bugs me is that's like technically, if that episode was canon, that's the episode that Steven learns to use his shield, because after that one, he's just using his shield left and right. But it's not canon, so it doesn't matter. He says it in the episode. Anyway, Uncle Grandpa's that kind of guy who, like, he'd be, if he fought Goku, he'd be getting beat up, he'd be getting slaughtered, killed. And then, like, another copy of him would walk in from out of frame saying, glad I'm not that guy. I'm going to pull up the fucking... Hold on. You guys know about Secret Mountain Fort Awesome? Like the ugliest show that has ever premiered on Cartoon Network? Let's take a look at this real quick. We're gonna look at this together. This is one of the ugliest shows that has ever premiered on fucking Cartoon Network with like Buttman. I don't know who these guys are. I never watched this show. I would always when this show was on Cartoon Network. This was right before the dark age of Cartoon Network where they did like a year of only live action shows. I think this is why they did CN Live, if any of you remember that from back in the day. But this is the show that Uncle Grandpa appeared in for the first time. Why is this thumbnail so small? What the hell? There he is. He's tiny. He's apparently censored or some shit. I don't know anything about this show, but it's really weird. It wasn't even broadcasted in my country. You're probably not missing out. Why is he naked? I don't like that. I don't want to think about naked Uncle Grandpa. I have told myself at some point that I need to go watch like all of Uncle Grandpa at some point, just like front to back. Maybe I'll do that before I get to say Uncle, and I'll just like know everything. I'll know all the lore. Good morning. The show with Domokun monster looking thing that looked pretty gnarly. Oh, that one was Problem Solvers. That's like if you set the fucking saturation on Photoshop to 100% and made it a cartoon. Remember this shit? Any of you seen this? Again, it's another one of the shows they were airing like right at the same time that I would always turn off whenever it came on TV. If you ate neon glow stick, you guys know about the 4chan thing where the guy had like this glowing syringe and he showed a picture of him injecting it into himself. I'm not gonna show that because it's like not safe for work or whatever, but I think that's what you start seeing if this show is what you start seeing if you inject a glow stick into yourself. Oh, I have an idea. I have my glow sticks in my freezer. I'm going to get one out. I want to see if it, like, if I warm it up, if it'll start glowing. I'll actually have an excuse to turn my face cam on. I've turned into... He turned into the problem solvers. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, 4chan is down. That used to be my pooping website. That's a weird thing to lead into. I go on there when I'm using the bathroom to, like, look for funny memes, which is almost never successful because the memes are terrible on that site. Sometimes you'd find something obscure and good. It's like digging through trash to find anything valuable. Okay, one sec. I'm gonna hit BRB because I'm gonna go get a glow stick. I'll be right back. I'm back. Everyone's talking about pooping website. Come on, you have the same thing. Everyone's got one. Everyone does something on the toilet. Okay, I have a glow stick. It is entirely frozen solid. And it is not glowing currently. I'm gonna do face jump scare time. Wait. Do I have a camera set up? Hold on. I don't have a camera set up. Shit. No, the glow stick was frozen solid. James, the Apoke James. It's not a face reveal. My face is already on my channel. If you go watch, a couple old reviews before I started Gemology. I don't do my face in Gemology because I don't think it would be good to have the show. Or I want the videos to be about the show, not about me. It's kind of about me. It's about my opinions, but not about my face. My 20th face reveal, yeah. In like 10 more years, I'm gonna not show my face for 10 years after this, and then they'll be like, oh guys, face reveal. I'm older now. Drum roll, if I can ever get this camera to... Do I not have the camera plugged in? Okay, it is plugged in. It's dark in the room. I like to have mood lighting. How do I fucking add a camera on Linux video capture device? Okay. Maybe? Is this gonna work? Oh, there we go. It's huge. And laggy. Whoa. That's not good. I don't want that. Get out of here. I need a better way to do this. Try pipe wire. I don't know nothing about nothing. Device. Oh. That one's not even working. What do I have? 3 doors? I don't know, honestly. I have one for... There are 2 closets. And one of them is the door to the rest of my house. The closets are the real room like Futurama, maybe. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I want to get this working. I'm going to try... We're going to be fucking around with OBS for a little bit. Because the other one was working. It was just laggy. Let's see if I can get the lag to like not be so... Okay. Whoa, lag. Look, glow stick. It's not glowing right now. I have it... It's in a dark room, so... It's easier to see. Why is it... Okay, frame rate 30. It's still laggy. Use buffering. Disable that. It's still laggy. Why? Oh, there we go. There you go. I got my guitar on my wall, too. Nobody bully me just because I bought my webcam in 1928. Yeah, my webcam is genuinely like 12, 15 years old. It's not glowing. I'll turn my webcam back on when or if it starts glowing. Okay. One of those YouTube riddle content farms. What? The on-air door hanger is adorable. That was back from when I lived with my parents. And I did live streams more often. Now I live alone with cats and ducks. 1 cat. Put facecam on top right and Steven and Connie will be looking at you. Oh yeah, let's do that. Just for something funny. Whoa, who's that in the corner? Huh? Huh? Oh, I have to look this way. I don't know. Ducks? People don't know I have ducks? You guys didn't watch the fucking Lars and the Cool Kids video where I talked about having ducks? Not professionally? What's the door hanger? It says on air. I have ducks. When I get to fucking... I'll do that as like a sub thing. I'll do a duck reveal. Gender non-conforming duck. Were you the one who left that comment, JMac? I'm looking that up. I'm going on my fucking dashboard. That is the random lore that you will know about me. Yeah, it is you. Okay. I will do a duck reveal when I get to fucking, I don't know, 20,000 subs. I hope my goal is to get to, because I work at a school, when it gets summer break, I want to hit 10,000 subscribers. I think that would be fun. I agree. I can do it. I think I am, I'll say this. I'm a substitute teacher. I have a substitute teaching license, but I don't do it all that often. Really, I'm like a one-on-one support for kids with special needs. Okay, this glow stick is not glowing. Sorry to say, I think it was bullshit all along. Do I brag about your channel to children? No, I worked at a different school previously, and I mentioned it to one kid one time, and he fucking spread it around to the whole school, and it was a nightmare. So now that I'm at a different school than that one, that was like 5 years ago. I'm at a different school, and what do you call it? I have only mentioned it to staff. I have not mentioned it to kids. Oh yeah, those are the Minecraft YouTubers, not the Steven Universe ones. It works with an old glow stick formula, but not the modern ones. Should I get out the bigger glow stick? Like the fat ones that I had? I have mentioned to some of the students, I have like said Steven Universe, like brought it up once or twice. And from what I can tell, nobody's seen it. Nobody knows what it is. Glow stick cam. I'm going to turn, hold on. Let's turn the cam on one time, and then I'm going to turn the light behind me off. See, here it is. It's not glowing. If I like put it in my hands like this, you can't see it. Let's turn this light off. That's the only glowing is coming from my monitor. It's not actually glowing. It's fucking broken. Weird to think about. Most kids don't watch TV shows. I hear more kids talk about things like Digital Circus than anything on actual TV. Which is my favorite door of the three? The refrigerator door. No, there's one specific door that has a bunch of instruments in it. I have an accordion in there, and I still don't really know how to play the accordion, but I have one. What's behind the doors reveal? That will be the 50,000 subscriber milestone. Oh, swords. Cool. Wait, Connie likes swords in this episode? I think Bismuth crafted all these. I think lore wise she did. Ducks are behind one of the doors. They are not. One of the doors has a goat. Actually, two of the doors have goats, and then the other one has the prize, the real prize. Obscure reference. If you can say it, you get something. I'll award you with my gratitude. Did Bismuth make the Obsidian Temple statue? I'm gonna guess so. Wait. No, that wouldn't be possible. Because Obsidian is a fusion of fucking all 5 of them, right? And Amethyst didn't emerge from the ground until after the corruption blast. Wait, the timeline is weird. Who built the fucking statue? Was it Obsidian herself? It's not Bismuth. There's no way it could be Bismuth. Early humans made the temple. That is possible. I think that, like, the fucking Aztecs or whatever. Or the French. If the French built the fucking Statue of Liberty, they could totally build the temple. Yeah, I think it would make more sense for it to be a human statue. That is an interesting point to bring up, though. Monty Hall problem. That's the one. I couldn't think of the name, so thank you. Statue of Liberty is actually green diamond. That'd be a cool fucking design. Someone draw some fan art of that. I'm not great at drawing. I would draw that if I could, like a fusion fucking of the diamonds that kind of looks like the Statue of Liberty. That would fit too, because it's like this powerful like thing. Actually, it's closer to you know, like outside of courthouses in the United States where they have the woman with the scales and the sword and the blindfold. What was it? Statue Lady Justice. That's the one. What's the gem weapon is the torch? That could be cool. You know, Pink Diamond's gem is on the dollar bill. Go on. What is my favorite sword? The bastard sword, because it's a bastard. Is this a cane sword? Hold on. Is that a squiggly ass cane sword? Humans on Earth see Pink Diamond as a god, and the diamond is like a cross of our world. That's a cool thought. That's just a machete. That's not even a sword. That's a machete with a fucking hilt, a blade, or what is it called? A guard, hand guard? How long is it going to take till we get some of my favorite episodes reviewed? What is your favorite episodes? That's a good question, because I'm doing them all in order week by week. Pink Diamond is a god. Does that make Stephen Jesus? That's a good question to bring up right before Easter. If Stephen was killed and his body was thrown into a cave and a big rock was rolled in front of that cave, could Stephen come back to life? If so, then yes, he is this world's equivalent of Jesus. What if there was could be like an interesting like myth, like a fan fiction. Delving into fan fiction territory here. Jesus was real, but he was like a guy who was brought back to life by fucking rose quartz. That could be a fan fiction, I think, maybe. His gem would resurrect. The stupid multiplier. I love the stupid multiplier. Pink Jesus. How many religions are based around gems in this show? Now I'm thinking about all the gem side of history is always fun to think about. But it's all been done. I feel like the human side of history is like the gems arrived on Earth around the time that the Greeks were, like the ancient Greeks and fucking Athens and Sparta were at war with each other. I wanted to do this. If I did my rewrite, I would do the history of like Pink Diamond and all that. And Pink Diamond would come to Earth and she would discover the things that the fucking Greeks did, which is goddamn blood sports. So she would build these fucking coliseums, which is why you see all the coliseums. I feel like that would be cool. It's like, oh, we'll have gems fight gems and gems fight humans and humans fight animals. That'd be fun to have like an evil Pink Diamond. That's not like fandom evil Pink Diamond Rose Quartz. Mayor Dewey's great ancestor built the temple statue when they were saved by the crystal gems. I believe the temple appeared in the play. I think. I could be wrong. I'm not going to pull the episode up at risk of getting copyright claimed. How did Connie explain the fucking burns to her parents? Steven Universe history is not consistent with ours because Pearl is saying she learned the human tradition of becoming a knight 6,000 years ago. There were fucking knights 6,000 years ago, right? How long were knights a thing? Concept of knighthood may be inspired by the ancient Greek hippus and Roman. Let's find out when this appeared. Yeah, ancient Greece. Come on. It's not medieval. That's not a uniquely medieval thing. Like you can be a ruler of a country and have like people fighting for you. That's knights. A giant woman with black hole powers. That would be a fusion of all four diamonds, wouldn't it? I had this thought. I told someone the other day. My only true phobia, I believe, is a fear of black holes. Black holes freak me out. I'm not like afraid that all the fucking sun is gonna collapse into a black hole any day. I'm not like that kind of phobia, but I don't like black holes. They're spooky. It's like the one thing. I'm not afraid of anything tangible. I played a game any of you have heard of, maybe. It's not as popular as I once thought it was, but Elite Dangerous. It's a space sim game where you can fly around like a approximation of the Milky Way galaxy. And you can find black holes, and I found one, and they're very realistically depicted. You can't actually physically see them, but they bend the fucking reality around it. Like it bends the light, so it creates this lensing. And it's freaky because it's like you're in this part of the universe that's like dark, but then there's this thing, and it's like fucking with the light. I flew so close to one, and I was like freaked out by it. Do you think there are aliens or gems that rank higher than the diamonds? Here, let me answer that question with a question. Why does Homeworld need armies? Think about that. Who are they building armies to fight against? They're not fighting each other. They seem like they were doing fine with each other. Unless there's like another set of fucking gems out there, like another group of rebels. That's like the scariest part of the gems. I do think that the armies are whatever like forces they came across have been wiped out by the time the show happens. But the fact that they needed armies at all is scary. Yeah, they're running out of materials to make gems, but for what? If they're immortal beings, it's kind of like not even just like a couple of like a few. Immortality is an interesting like plot device because you can have like one or two characters in a story that are immortal, like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. Like he can die and come back, and he's more powerful, but he's like technically an angel or whatever. Like that's interesting. That's fun. Or like the elves that live forever, but they can still be killed. And then in Steven Universe, you have an entire race, like an entire planet of immortals. But it's like, why do you need to make more? What's the purpose of making more? There's no economy. It's all a dictatorship. It's all run like a well-oiled machine. If the gems don't eat, but they can move around, where do they get the energy from? They did that in Kindergarten Kid. It's like this fake life energy that doesn't exist in real life, but it exists in the world where they like sucked the life energy out of the kindergarten so nothing else could grow. Making me think that what if all the other fucking all the gems that were created there, if they all got shattered, could they grow something there? Like, would all that life energy end up going back, or would it just be like gone forever? Why do ants make more of themselves? Because they die. And there's other fucking armies of ants to fight other species or same species. That's like a whole thing. If you want to learn about ants, that's a fun topic actually, because ants fight huge wars between colonies. They create more gems because they're programmed to create more of themselves and spread across space. Uh, that's a brings up another question. Did someone create them? Did someone, if they're programmed to do this, who programmed the diamonds? Where did the diamonds come from? Who's the G-Man? Is in one of the battlefields we see overgrown with huge flowers. I wonder if the life force of shattered gems is fueling them. That's a neat point that I've never considered. Like the strawberry fields in Sirius Steven, and they return to it in Warp Tour, I think. No one made them, they just came into existence like we did. I feel like that's the correct answer, but it's not the most fun answer. Rule of cool. When it comes to fiction, rule of cool, you know? Glow stick is not glowing. I will say that. It's been like a half hour since I got this out. It's not glowing. The strawberry fields weren't kindergartens, though. That's true, but the idea was that the shattered gems that have fallen during the war are scattered throughout those fields. So whatever energy that was left in those gem shards are fueling the plant life. The diamonds made themselves. That's the cool answer. I think that's the coolest answer. Where did I get my profile from? Like my profile picture? I've had it for years. I drew it. And I've just been using it for like over a decade. Silicon-based life forms because fucking quartzes. Everything's a quartz. Everything's silicon-based. They're computers. Computer theory. Look at Lion just not having any of our shit. Compressed human corpses are good. This is like saying compressed human corpses are good fertilizer. They probably are. I don't know. I don't want to read that out loud, Aquapines. That's an interesting thought. I don't want to get into that territory. That seems a little spooky. That seems a little too internet for me. Too much internet. I remember seeing an old Reddit post or something about how gem corruption works like corrupting a computer file. That is kind of what happens. Maybe. Well, maybe. Because some cases, if that were the case, then in some cases the gems would just like die entirely, which I think was the intention with the fucking blast, the corruption wave blast. That's how we got Dogcopter. Okay, I'm bouncing between two different things. The thing with computer files is that if sometimes in different file types, if one gets corrupted, it just stops functioning entirely. Like you can't open it. Like no matter what program you try to open it in, it just will not let you. And then in other cases, if a file gets corrupted, you can open it, but it's a bunch of garbled gibberish. Which is how they what do you call it? How the gems, the corrupted gems are in the real show. Discussion around Steven Universe has been so influenced by the Round Table it has mutated what people consider canon and non-canon. Canon is what's in the show. I will not budge on that. If it's not in the show, then it's not canon. You shouldn't have to fucking do homework to keep up with canon of something like that. If it's confirmed on Twitter, it's worth basically nothing to me. Like this zoom in on the face of Lion. Oh, Arcopines, you bring up a good point. Hold on. I have to show this image or this comic. Where is it? If I can find it. Shit. I can't find it. I remember seeing it so long ago. It was a comic. I'll describe it because I can't fucking find it now. But it was this funny little thing where like Steven was a baby and they turned him on his back and the back of the point of the gem was poking out his back. And they're like, ugh. Getting back into Ben 10, the show has the messiest canon of any IP I've ever seen. That's crazy. I never really got into anything past what do you call it? The original show of Ben 10. Because I tried to watch Alien Force and that show was so dull that I just fell asleep, basically. Physical gem itself can definitely change size. Look at Obsidian's Pearl versus Pearl's Pearl. Yeah, in fusions they get huge. Even like Pearl's gem versus her gem on Opal. Like it's way bigger. Will they ever study a different show? I've thought about it. Whenever I get done with Gemology eventually, I was considering Adventure Time because that's another show that I really like and it's a show that has like a lot going on to discuss. So if I do end up discussing another show or analyzing another show on YouTube, it may be Adventure Time. When Rose and Pearl fused during What Can I Do For You? How did the gems not see Rose was a diamond? Yeah, how did the gems not know that she was a diamond when they fused initially? Like, can they not tell by like their brain capacity? I don't know. I think Steven being born would be impossible to look at because it would just be this blinding light, and then rose quartz would disappear and Steven would be there. That's how the show would do it, but it would be like reverse fusion where she would turn into light, she would disappear, and then Steven would be there. Maybe Rose only fused with Pearl, but that's not possible because there were episodes where they talked about fucking what's her name? Alexandrite and then the statue of Obsidian. So yes, they did fuse with her. Or yeah, Alexandrite was different. But yeah, Obsidian exists. Alexandrite is different. That's unrelated. My bad. Bye, Greg. You had a theory that fusions don't have any memories of their components unless they both experienced or know about it. That is also false because in Mindful Education, Stevani gets to see memories of both Steven and Connie's previous events. Like, Stevani sees the fucking kid that Connie beat up at school. Steven wasn't there. He wouldn't know about that, but they could still see it. I still think the rotating her gem around is entirely like a diamond thing. Like, diamonds have so much control over their form that they can just do that shit. And the fact that she reformed as a fucking rose quartz for thousands and thousands of years and never changed and could always hold it. When they unfuse, they wouldn't remember. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. The individuals that make up the fusion choose which memories to share, which is why Garnet didn't know Pearl fixed the tower when they fused. Ah, that does make sense. I've always thought of it like a Pacific Rim kind of like you do the mind meld or the, what is it called, the drift, where you get into the giant robot and then you have to like link your brains together. I always thought of it like that, but I suppose it's not quite the same. Oh yeah, Pearl is good at compartmentalizing. That's canon. That was in A Single Pale Rose. She's like, I'm very good at compartmentalizing. Spinel also rotates her gem. That's true. I think that's also movie bullshit. They did a lot of movie bullshit. They added a lot of cool, interesting, different things for the movie. I need a different frame of yeah, Avatar State. I like to think inside a gem's gem when they're poofed. It's like a character editor screen. Oh, I had something. You want to see what I had? I have my random thoughts. I didn't have many random thoughts in, but I have my do gems. Wait, this will be included in a future video at some point. Do gems that haven't formed think? I realize that's a stoner question, but I've always thought about it since the very first time I watched this. So I wonder if they're still in there, like they're in a sensory deprivation chamber. So I have this. I'm gonna be adding like random thoughts to fucking these things. What else is movie bullshit? The giant injector for sure. That like doesn't exist until the movie. Lion ate too many Flintstones gummies. Yes. Lapis was conscious in the mirror. That is true, but she was also part of a fucking artifact thing that let her function as a device. But like if they're in a bubble, yeah, the cluster's in a bubble, but they also have like other shards to talk about. What's stopping gems from turning into ginormous beasts to crush others? The writers are stopping them. That is a genuine answer. The writers don't want that to happen because it would get old, and power scaling is a fucking nightmare. They react like no time passed at all, but they can think of how to reform their appearance. Wait, to reform... What? Well, let me read that again. I'm like getting tired. It's hard to read chat sometimes. I think the appearance is like a subconscious thing. You just have to be like in a good mindset to reform. The thing with gems reforming or gems being in their bubble or like having no form is that if we're going the computer route, if we think like, oh, gems are all like automatons that have a fucking computer shit going on in their brains. On real computers, if you didn't know this, every computer that you have that isn't like from the fucking 90s or earlier has a battery called a CMOS, which is always on. Even if the computer is entirely shut off, the battery keeps the clock going. If that battery dies or if that battery is removed when you boot the computer, it'll fuck up. It'll like say, hey, the time is wrong because the clock wasn't running. So you can shut the computer off and that clock will stop. And then when you turn the computer back on, it'll still be the same time. I wonder if that's what happens with the gems in certain cases. I saw the fully formed cluster concept art. I have seen it. It's freaky. That was part of a thing. At some point later in the series, when I get further into the show and get more lore going on, I found a Steven Universe iceberg, and I'm going to do like a whole explanation thing of this iceberg. Let me pull it up, actually. I can do that. I have it saved. Do. Where did I have it saved? Is it this one? Yeah, this is it. Okay. Let's put it over this, I suppose. You'll see how I will fucking edit videos in Blender because then I can actually zoom into this shit. Yeah, the Steven Universe iceberg. I'll briefly talk about it in the stream, but at some point I'm going to do like a full fucking hour-long video of all this shit. Let's go from top to bottom, of course. Really normal stuff. The chest in Lion's Mane. Stevani's non-binary, like really obvious stuff. The gems are AI. That seems like an interesting consensus that everyone's come to. Is this pink diamond? Weird. Steven's neck. Remember when the movie premiered and Steven had a neck? Yes, Onion is yellow diamond. I told you this was a genuine thing back when the show was fucking premiering, and like season 2 introduced the idea of diamonds at all. Or when they fucking started saying it at the end of season 1, where it's like Jasper's like, "Yo, diamonds. When I hear about this, it's like, what about Onion? What is Onion? Is he yellow diamond? Yes." Pearl hates the Irish. I'm gonna do that episode at some point. It's the lost episode. Steven's neck is an illusion. Yeah, it's shapeshifted. He shapeshifted a neck just so he wouldn't become that guy who puts mayonnaise in his hair. If you guys don't know about the guy who puts mayonnaise in his hair, I'm going to show him to you right now. It's this guy. His name is Big Ed, and he was on this, like, TLC show. The, like, 90 Day Fiancé TLC show. What a character this guy is. A lot of people didn't know who that was in the Tiger Millionaire video. Stronger than you inspiration? Is it just the two of us? Probably. I never got this. Lars is trans. Nothing backs that up, right? Is that just a fan theory? Or like Lars might be trans, or he will become trans in the future. I don't know. The Lion original design is creepy looking. Laramie. Well, Laramie is a gender neutral name, right? He transitioned to pink. Yes, that is true. That was the fastest transition of all time. I don't know. I get the Laramie Lars thing. My full name is Wesley, and I go by Wes most of the time, just because it's, I don't know. Rebecca Sugars, Ed and Eddie Art. That's something that I remember reading about that and seeing that back in season 1 of the show. Ate too many shrimps. How many shrimps do you have to eat before it makes your skin turn pink? Naked Bismuth. That's just Bismuth has no like back to her shirt thing. Her fucking she's a crystal gem. She can be a nudist if she wants. I'm going to look up Stronger Than You inspiration. I don't know about that one. I think it is just the two of us, which is a really good song. Lapis lays an egg. Was that a fan fiction or like a comic? Ad jump scare. I'm sorry, I have ads turned on. It doesn't tell me when ads are going to play. Apparently on Twitch it tells you when like an ad is going to play, or it tells the streamer, and then I can like stop for a little bit. I hate this one. This is so like bogus to me. People said that. There's a few comments when I did Frybo a long time ago. PD is a PD metaphor. Get it? Because it's PD. There's nothing there in my eyes. Aren't gem clothes part of them? Yeah. Garnet's parents died. Oh no! Oh no! I'm not. I'm okay. I don't know why Luke Weber is this far down. This is like common information. Stephen is an allegory for the Antichrist. I don't know nothing about that one, but just saying that out loud is funny. Oh, okay. Garnet was theory that Garnet was created from two gems and her parents died. Okay, that does make sense. That is a cool theory, but no, it's fusion. Then they introduced the idea of the kindergarten. That would have had to been like before On the Run then. This is the cluster. This was the original cluster design, right? I forgot about the Ruby's mustache in the Russian dub. I like this one. I subscribed to this theory here. Pearl was White Diamond's pearl. I think they did a pearl swap. When when Pink Diamond broke her original pearl. When she broke volleyball before she was called volleyball. White Diamond was like, "Come here, Starlight. I'll make that one all better. I'll take the broken one. You can have this brand new one." And she rejuvenates the Pearl we know, and she loses all her memories of working for White Diamond. That's all better. Yes, Starlight, you can have this perfectly good one that was mine, and I won't be angry at all. And it was said to not be canon. If it's said on fucking social media, it doesn't matter. I will keep saying that. If it's not in the show, it's not canon. I think it's entirely possible that they did a pearl swap. Pumpkins don't last forever broke me when I found out. What is that? What do you mean? Just that Pumpkin, the character, would die after like a few months of rotting? What is Onion? What is he? Off colors are an Alice in Wonderland reference. I don't know much about Alice in Wonderland. Can anyone back this up? Does anyone know this one? Rose is blind. Why? Yeah. What is Rose is blind? Wait, where is that? Okay, there. I'm looking this up. Hold on. I think it's because she had her eyes closed in the painting before she ever appeared on video and stuff. I'm looking at Reddit right now. Someone posted 5 years ago on Reddit. Remember the theory that gems who didn't wear shoes and wore dresses were more powerful, examples being Rose and Lapis. It made people really want to see Sapphire's feet. Oh, God, the internet. Who painted it? Probably Vidalia. That makes sense. Lion 3 is gonna fucking break me when I get to it. Such a fantastic episode. There's a few instances in the show when I like genuinely tear up a couple times. The first instance, actually, it was when I was recording the Lars and the Cool Kids thing. I genuinely like had some fucking watery eyes during recording it when Steven tells off Lars and then he's still ready to like help everybody. I was like, damn, this is like a fantastic character when he's actually done right. I get the where is it? There was one that's like Ruby is blind. Where does it? Was it on this one or is that on something else? Ruby's mustache. Dr. Maheshwaran is a gem. I think that was just from the fucking dream, the Stevani dream on the alien planet. Ruby is blind. I was looking right at it. That's just the throwaway line where she's like, can't see when she's on the fucking ship. Because she can't see into the future. That's it. That's the only reason. And everyone was like, oh, she's blind. She's just fucking navigating by sense of smell. Do you think the gems taught humans English? I think that's one of those things where it's looking into it a little too much. They speak English because that's what language the show was originally made in. That's, yeah. It would be overcomplicating it to have for a kids show. Remember that this is a kids show. To have the gems speak an alien language and then have subtitles, they wouldn't be able to get away with that. So, like to imagine that in the real reality of it, that they speak some kind of, if this were a different, like more grown up, more adult show, that they would have done that they would have made the gems speak an different alien language. Or it's like Star Trek logic where they have this universal translator that they can just talk to, or whatever the gems speak, no matter who they're talking to, they'll understand them. The gems know English because Britain conquered Homeworld. Yes, that is real. That is now real. Could you just shoot gems with guns and they'd poof? If you stabbed a gem, they poof. Like, they fucking Pearl stabbed Pink Diamond. That's what happened. Steven stabbed Bismuth. I mean, that was a big sword, but you know. I think if you shot a gem with a gun, it would poof him. It would kill him. Shoot the glowing weak points with a butter knife. I think a butter knife is not sharp enough. I think it would just bounce off. Like if you tried to stab a tree with a butter knife, you know. Remember the concrete controversy? Let's go back to the iceberg for a little bit. Concrete, the little the concept art for a character that like had big lips and couldn't read, and everyone thought it was like a racist caricature. I don't know how genuine that was. I think it was just like a. Plus, it never ended up in the show. I don't know why it was such a huge controversy. I get that it was like everyone interpreted it as like a blackface character, that was like a racist stereotype. God, I still have that big Ed tab open and I clicked over on it accidentally. We need a gem with a gun. I think that's Sapphire's weapon, but they couldn't show it on a kids show. Actually, that's Peridot's weapon is a gun, just a fucking Glock. But they didn't show it on her. They didn't show it in the show because when she was on Homeworld, she pulled it out and she's like, I don't have ammo for this. But on Earth, she could get 9mm ammo and use it. Big Ed jump scare. Pink Diamond is an off color and she's supposed to be red and bigger. I've heard that one before, and I think it's a good theory. I wish Bluebird would have a gun instead of a sword. It could have been like a musket with a bayonet. I think that would have been fucking sick. That's not a gun. That's a buster. That's like a fucking. What's the blaster, the buster thing from Mega Man? That's more of a Mega Man thing than a gun. What's my favorite theory here? Like on the iceberg? Let me think. The one I like to think about the most. Where is it? 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 Frick. Where the frick, dude? Where the frick? Yeah, the one at the very bottom. Steven is still stuck in Rose's room. So the beach party episode is already on Patreon. If you are on Patreon, thank you. I could read the names at the end of the stream. I probably will. But so the next episode I'm going to end up working on is Rose's room. This theory is fucking wild to me. Like, this is entirely a possible theory. I don't know how plausible it is, but it's such a interesting thing to think about. That, like, none of this was real. I mean, it wasn't. It's a cartoon. But that, like, everything that Steven experienced was just a fabrication of his own fucking imagination because he's been trapped in this room forever. Ben 10 has a similar theory. What was that Ben is trapped somewhere? Wait, I don't remember. It's been a while. It's been like 5 years since I watched Ben 10. I can't remember. Every show has a coma or it wasn't real theory. Yeah, but in Steven Universe, it's possible. Like that's like a possible, potentially even likely theory. You know, crew members and background cameos. That one's a pretty normal thing to have. Forever Night episode. What is the Forever Night? I have to forever. I can't remember what that one was about. Shit. Steven ate too many cookie cats and dreamed all of the lore based on an ice cream jingle. Sounds like some fever dream shit. Sugar crash dream theory. Add that to the iceberg. Why was the canon needed in a post-Greg time? I think that's why Greg had it at all. Like, you don't need a canon. You just have it because you used to have it. I have a cannon. I have an air cannon. I don't need it. I still have it. I never needed it. I built it because I thought it would be fun, and I shot candy on Halloween. Yeah, that's I was gonna say that. I don't know how to say her. Tez's jazz. The cannons weren't needed, so she changed the code as a joke, and she could have been like showing it to Greg as like, oh, I'm just gonna shoot it off as like a firework, and he's like, whoa, can you change the why do you use that phrase? And she's like, oh, I could change it to anything I want. Why don't you pick the next one? And Greg's like, if every pork chop were perfect, we wouldn't have hot dogs. Oh shit, my cannon went off. I'm joking. My cannon didn't go off. You didn't hear it. You can see a big beam of light in the sky. I think Greg set the passwords on the cannons. Rose and Greg did it drunk. Yes, yes, yes. If we get a Steven Universe spin-off, everyone's like, oh, Lars of the Stars. Let's do a Lars of the Stars spin-off. Everyone wants Lars of the Stars. No, I want Rose and Greg, slice of life, adventure, fucking goofy gem shit. My cat showed up. What do you want? I want Goofy Gem and Goofy Rose and Greg slice of life show. That's the spin-off that I want. Rose and Greg sitcom. Yes. Yes. That's what I need. That's what I want. Whenever they decide to reboot this show, because in the current landscape of fucking media, that's inevitable. Yes. Chillited prequel. Garnet says only she can swim in lava, meaning not all gems are heat resistant. Yes, you are correct on that. I did at one point, I did a bunch of research into, I actually started building a fucking machine to do this, and I never completed it because it was a hazard. A way to like fabricate rubies and sapphires with fucking burning hydrogen. Never came to be because you need such high heat that it would be impossible. I will just put it that way. You need a fuck ton of power, and you need all these like chemicals to do electrolysis and all sorts of bullshit that was not worth it, because then you realize that artificial rubies and sapphires are worth nothing. That's the most nerd thing ever. Yes. I did blow up a jar. That's the one thing I got out of it. I generated a bunch of hydrogen and it flashed back into the fucking tube and blew the lid off a jar. Very much looked like a meth lab when I was making it. Me when geology? That's a good topic to be nerd about. That's awesome. This entire chat talks about the most nerd crap ever. That's why I'm here. That's why we're here. We're talking about cartoons and fucking overanalyzing shit. Gemology Live, the revolutionary tech we've been fucking. We're in the fucking future. We really haven't been talking about the episode itself very much. In fact, it's probably been like 60% Steven Universe and 40% random bullshit. Now we're talking about nerd stuff. At some point, how long has this stream been going? Over 2 hours? I've been doing this for 2 hours. I gotta do this like once a week. This is fun. But at some point, I will have to cut you off and send you all home because I need sleep at some point. I'm glad so many people came. This is really fucking awesome. What is this bit? Stewie, we can't both exist. Next week, we question the chair continuity in Steven's house. Someone pointed out there's only 2 stools in fucking the beginning of this episode. Let's look at it. One of the other stools is in a closet. There's a hidden closet, or maybe it's just in fucking Amethyst's room. But sometimes the stools are in the episode, and sometimes they're not. I only get bent out of shape about it if it's inconsistent between scenes. Maybe the other one is knocked over and out of frame. I don't think it is. I don't know. Because there it is, the whole frame. I don't see a third stool. I think it's put away. Or it's on the other side of the counter. Who knows? Stools are alive. They are fucking pebbles. They're like the gem walls in Homeworld. Aquapine stole it. Yes. I think next time I do this, I'm going to need alcohol. I think it would be really fun to just do like a 5-hour stream just drunk off my ass. Which alcohol? I can get hard Mountain Dew. That's one of my favorites. It'll be a 21 plus stream because we will be drinking. Which episode? Oh, the next episode is for next week would be Beach Party, which is already done. It's on Patreon. Make it change the channel password to pork chops. If every pork chop were perfect. Yeah, can we get a Dogcopter spinoff? Actually, I think it would be a terrible. This show would get like half a season and then get canceled as a tax write-off. Knowing Warner Brothers. Also, so a lot of people pointed out this is War of the Worlds. Which, yes, it's a tripod. It's War of the Worlds. How often do you think Amethyst gets drunk? I think that's a. Do you think Amethyst is a party animal? I'm sure she does a lot of drinking off screen. Your Greg sounds like a scary good Seuss impression. Oh yeah, dude. I haven't watched Gravity Falls in forever, so I don't know any Seuss lines. Someone give me a Seuss line and I'll try to do it. Amethyst gives herself a liver just to get drunk. Do you think she just gets drunk and then, like, when she's bored, she shapeshifts herself a liver to clear it all out? That one episode of fucking Adventure Time, the fucking, what is it, Mau Mau, the little drawing that the kid did? Was that a Make-A-Wish thing? Or, yeah, at the end of it, he's like, big liver! Sorry, dudes, I totally killed that fairy. Sorry, dudes. Dudes. That's, yeah. Big liver! That was not good. I need some water if I'm going to be doing fucking impressions now. Dipper, we can't both exist, dude. Steven have organs? He has bones. That's all I know. The donut song? The Smiley, Mr. Smiley Big Donut? Was that episode was still when Sinbad was voicing Mr. Smiley, right? They make the world go round. What's my least favorite Steven Universe song? I don't know how hot of a take this is, but I feel like it's gonna stir up some of the fucking people in the chat. Yellow Diamond's "What's the Use in Feeling Blue?" That one just kind of sucks. I have nothing I don't have anything specific to say about it. It's just I just don't enjoy that one. Pardon in all caps. I like it narratively, yeah, but the song it's not a song that I would put on a playlist. Stronger Than You? No, that one's good. I like that one. Big Fat Meanie Zucchini is S tier. Just sub to my Patreon just to unsub and demand a refund for that take. No, I don't like that song. I'm not budging on that one. I think the melody is shit. I accidentally got my family's Apple Music account into the top 500 Steven Universe listeners last year. They didn't even know I listened to SU songs. That's it. Boycott him. I can't believe you guys are more upset about me liking or not liking the Yellow Diamond song than me liking Ronaldo. Like me liking Ronaldo, except for Bloodstone, is less controversial than that. Wild. That is wild to me. Yeah, the pearls. She looks like Yellow Pearl. Weird take. Yellow Pearl looks like a Dr. Seuss character. Can I pull up Yellow Pearl real quick? I'm asking you guys for permission. I'm not. I don't need your permission. This is my stream. This is my stream. I'll do what I want. Yellow Pearl looks like a fucking Dr. Seuss character. I swear to God. It's this specific image too. The smug Yellow Pearl. What is this? Oh no. Okay, let me look at the It shows up in like one scene. Let me look up Yellow Pearl singing. What? I shouldn't be on Google Images looking up shit on a live stream. I don't know. They look like fucking. Maybe it's the angle that they're at, where their bodies get smaller from the perspective. They look like fucking Dr. Seuss characters. She looks like a Who. Yes. You got you're smelling what I'm stepping in. She looks like if Eggman and Isabel had a child. Don't say that. Don't say that. You time out. You go in time out. You go in the corner and think about what you did, what you said. Don't be putting images like that in my head. She looks like an onion. Yellow diamond or Yellow Pearl is onion. Onion is Yellow Diamond's rejected pearl? Yes. His stupid fucking his stupid hair hides his gem. The only truly male gem in the show. That's why he doesn't grow up in future. That's why he doesn't get bigger. It's because he's fucking. Because he's a gem. Because he's pearl. He is a pearl. Oh, that's the wrong thing. How did nobody recognize that Pink Diamond's pearl was the Renegade Pearl? Someone mentioned it in chat earlier that she was like the default pearl. That if you like don't do any customization, when you like boot up Dark Souls, and you just pick one of the classes and you just do not customize the character. That's what Pearl is. So I'm sure there's a bunch of her walking around. There's a bunch of like same looking pearls. Onion and Yellow Pearl were supposed to be the final villains, but they canceled the show before they could get there. I was waiting for the Yellow Pearl and Onion fusion, honestly. That was the thing I was most looking forward to, and then I heard they were cutting the show short. Yellow Pearl looks like pasta. I kind of hate Sunstone. I kind of agree. I think Sunstone is lame. That's like fucking Garnet, like one of the coolest characters in the show, just makes this like, oh yeah, like it's boring. I think she's just kind of lame. Unmodded Pearl, yeah. Round and round, let the city turn. Sunstone looks like a Pokemon. Again, it's a result of them having the show cut short, and they had to rush a they had to rush out a design and a character. They didn't have time to like come up with something. I'm gonna do this. They didn't have time to like flesh out an entire character for a fusion of them, which I am gonna guess that when they did like Rainbow Quartz 2.0, that they had that one planned out way more in advance. Mary Poppins Quartz, yeah, Rainbow 2.0 was cool. It's a bit lame they got such expensive actors for the fusions. Do you guys know that theory that when they there was some fucking goofy YouTuber who said this, that they said that the reason Nicki Minaj didn't come back to continue playing what's her name? Fuck. Sugalite. Why couldn't I not remember? It's getting late. They couldn't. She didn't come back to voice Sugalite is because that she's like a big fucking like monster woman, and somehow that was racist. Someone, I don't know. I don't remember who this was who said this. Some one of those hater YouTubers that all they do is make videos about how much Steven Universe sucks. And they said Sugalite is like a racist caricature. Big question mark on that one. And she didn't come back because she didn't like being portrayed as a big fucking monster creature. But let me think about it this way. What voice actor goes in to voice a character without getting a look at the character first? Also, Nicki Minaj wouldn't have done that fucking voice, that perfect voice for that character, if she didn't get a good look at that character and being told like, hey, this is a big fucking monster character that's like scary. Was it Lily Orchard? Yeah, it probably was. No, it's just the fact that Nicki Minaj is expensive. She did the damn monster growl for the lines. Yes, exactly. I think I watched which one was it? I'm going to go look that up. The like one Steven Universe video, the first one that she did. I'm like, when I first watched it long ago, there was some of it I was like, maybe this person has some points, and then I watch it again after rewatching the show a couple times, and then realize that like this fucking these videos are full of shit, and this person's trying to stir up controversy, like the Rebecca Sugar is a fascist. Rebecca Sugar is a fascist? Question mark. Ugh. Watch with a chat. Maybe one day I'll go in later into Gemology. I'll go watch fucking the Steven Universe is terrible and here's why with chat. We're gonna have a season 6 of Steven Universe, not Steven Universe Future. It's just gonna be season 6, and it's gonna be entirely drawn like the fucking end episode of Neon Genesis Evangelion, and it's gonna be Chris Pratt as Netherite. That's a good one. Okay. Oh no, the owl's gonna come kill me. The fucking Duolingo owl is gonna murder me in my sleep if I don't do this. I still have like another hour and a half. Cousin says Jasper should have got with Amethyst. What the fuck? Tell your cousin, what the fuck? Chris Pratt just shows up in Steven Universe. I should play music in the background. Yeah, I probably should. Let's play some goddamn. I know it's too late. I'm probably gonna end the stream pretty soon because I've been doing this for a couple hours. Next time, I'm gonna set up a playlist. I'm gonna make sure it doesn't get copyright claimed and all that. Maybe just of Steven Universe background music and stuff. Or you know what? I have a bunch of game soundtracks that I have purchased on Steam. I could play some cool. I'll play the fucking Factorio soundtrack. That'll get me to focus. Who is Opal's voice? She was a Broadway actress that I forget her name, but a big inspiration for Rebecca Sugar's music writing style. And is Steven Universe background music copyrighted? Everything is copyrighted. Put it that way. If it's not specified that it's public domain, it is copyrighted. However, will it get claimed? That's a different question. I do want to use the background music in. You can find out these things if you take a video, or if you just like upload a video with a bunch of music to YouTube and like unlisted or private, and just see which parts of that video get claimed. That's a good way to test what things are okay and not okay to do. Yeah. So for Gemology in general, I'll say this again because a lot of people weren't here when I said it at the very beginning of the stream. This is advice for anyone wants to do a series like this. You're gonna get copyright claimed. What you're doing is playing the episode, and talking over it. So the automated system is gonna claim the visuals, of course. Best way to deal with that, don't flip the video, don't like mirror it, don't try to sneak away through it at all. Just go through the actual legal process of what do you call it? Just do the disputes, do the appeals. If it's fair use, they will accept it as such. And I have never had issues. I had one time in my life, through my entire career on YouTube, over 10 years, I got a copyright strike because of a company that denied a copyright claim appeal. I got a strike. It was taken down for however long, and it was a review of if any of you have seen Miraculous Ladybug, they had some specials. It was one of those. And they fucking struck it down. It was a fucking review, fair use and all that. And I just took it head on. I just said, hey, this is fair use. Here's the counter notification. Either sue me or leave me alone. And surprise, surprise, they left me alone because it was fair use after all. I'm also not a lawyer, so use your own discretion, but I do recommend just tackling copyright problems head on instead of trying to skirt around them. It's a lot more, it just works better, and you don't have to compromise by like putting it into a tiny fucking window like this and having a giant border. I saw someone try to do overanalyzing Steven Universe with like it was this weird like superimposed footage that was like at half transparency. You wanted to become Miraculous Lady trash YouTuber. I think it's a fun show. I don't think it's cinema, but I think it's fun. Or if you're a wimp, use Kevin MacLeod music. Yes. Though if I used Steven Universe background music in this in this stream, I would not have the confidence to say that it was fair use because I'm not using it for the purpose of commentary. I'm not commenting on the music. I'm not using only certain portions of it, which is what I do for, the show. I cut out clips of it and talk about it. That's only using specific portions. So just using the Steven Universe music as background for live stream I would say not be fair use. But again, I am not a lawyer. I've taken one college law class in my life, so I probably know more than a lot of people. But yeah. What season is Miraculous Ladybug even on now? Like 7 or some shit? I've not kept up with that show. Wait, what? Kevin MacLeod's version of One Winged Angel. What? Hold on. This is I know I keep saying I'm doing the Midwest goodbye, as it's called, where I say, "Oh, I'm going to be done with the stream pretty soon," but now I need to find out what Kevin MacLeod One Winged Angel. Is it like a remix of the two? Oh, wait. Is this it? This is just One Winged Angel. Wait. Oh. Okay, that's neat. Horribly timed. Wait. My printer's making noises. I gotta keep a gun at my desk so I can shoot my printer when it starts doing weird noises. Glow stick update. It is still not glowing. Sorry to say. I've had it out for an hour to thaw. It is not glowing in the slightest. Glow stick is kill. Would you eat food with fire salt from Steven Universe? No, because I don't want to burn my house down. Wait, what was that 4chan green text where it was like, where were you when fucking John Lennon was killed? I gotta find out. Hold on. In car, wait. At work, my work is sell fish in fish stand. Sell fish. Friend call me while at working. John is kill. No. Rose is kill. No. When were you when John Lennon dies? I was at home. Peter ring. John is kill. No. When were you when 4chan die? If 4chan doesn't come back, I am gonna miss it just because of the fucking green text that you'd always get. Anyway, I think this is a good time to run the credits because I'm getting a little sleepy. It is like 10:30 now for me, and it is about time for me to go to sleep. I do want to do these more. This is fun, even just to just talk for a little while. And my glow stick is dead. So I won't be getting more glow sticks. But when I do, I said, when I get to 20,000 subs, whenever that may be, maybe later this year, if my channel keeps growing at the rate that it is, I will do a duck. I will bring a duck onto a live stream. I'll bring a duck into my house and have a duck. You know what? I'm going to pull up a duck picture before I go to sleep. It'll be a little bit. I'll leave you off with a duck picture. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Duck in the tub photo today. Let me find a modern video of this duck, this same duck. Where may I have a up-to-date video of this duck? Oh, here we go. Should have it. I have a bunch of things. I went to CES one year, or a couple years, and I have a ton of videos from there. Why can I not find my duck pictures, my duck videos? It might not be in this folder. More duck videos. Same duck. Okay, this is a different one. Oh, it's sideways. I don't know why it's sideways. If you guys want to chat after the stream is done, I do have a Discord server. That should be in the description. If it's not, then I don't know what to tell you. Sideways duck indeed. I will do a live duck. I can't find the updated duck video that I had. Oh, here. Same duck as an adult in the tub. She was filthy. Okay. That's all for now. I'm going to leave it off on the duck video. We've degraded into ducks. If you want to stay and chat, again, there's a Discord server in the description. I will probably be doing this next week. Next Saturday, I think that's a good time to be doing these. She did evolve. She is a Pokemon. Yes. And she lays eggs, and I eat those eggs, and they're delicious. Anyway, thanks everyone for coming. Thanks everyone for watching. Shout outs to all the patrons. I'm not gonna read names right now, but I appreciate you guys paid my phone bill this month. Okay. I'm glad we could do this. I had a lot of fun. I will do this next week after the next episode comes out. All right. Good night, everybody.